Looking live out there, blue team. Let's play some defense now. Come on, D up. I don't care what you think about me, I'll be just fine. I don't care if your eyes ever see or you stay blind. I'm trying to be the light beneath the light, and I'm gonna try. Here we go. Now, I got something on my mind and it's been bothering me for some time. So now I'm gonna hear the deaf and see the blind, and hope I find the lesson to the message in my rhyme. You see, if I speak honestly or emphatically, and I say one little thing that's negative about the president, then automatically I gotta be a resident of the other side. Why? That's absurd. The left wing, right wing are on the same bird. Huh. Red team, blue team, we need a fucking new team. Donald J. Trump's part of the same old routine. Behavior. Trump is not Q. Q is not a savior. What the fuck's he gave you? Some clues? Kept you confused? Q is just a part of the illusion, the confusion, not the solution. If Q knows the truth, then why's he gotta hide it in a clue? So you stay undecided and more divided. I don't buy it. You know what I trust? I trust the pandemic. I don't care what you think about me, I'll be just fine. I don't care if your eyes ever see or you stay blind. I'm trying to be the light beneath the light, and I'm gonna try. Helter skelter, shelter in place. Social distancing is not enough space for these noble moguls to piss in our face. It's a disgrace. Nobody fights back, nobody bites back. And once they're gone, no, we ain't getting our rights back. Why is that? Cause we acted like a bunch of soft bitches. Call up the cops if your neighbor got a cough, stitches, wind up in ditches. I hope I get to smell these Hollywood witches when they burning in hell. But right now I can tell we still under the spell. We fell. If you don't take pause and recognize your cause, they're coming for your balls. Red flag laws, government teeth and claws. I don't want my taxes paying for no fucking vaxes that they fast track. Cue up the laugh track, grab you up a knapsack and some provisions, because we got some decisions to make about our future of our nation and what we're facing. Contact tracing, legal interrogation, one PlayStation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for none. Have they won? No, not yet, but they're close to completing the lobotomy. With precision into scalpels of division, they make the incision the false dichotomy. And it's gotten me feeling animosity toward the aristocracy. I want the blood of the royal elite to flood the street and irrigate the field. How dare you motherfucking pigs bang on your shields? Nobody died when Kaepernick kneeled. I don't care what you think about me, I'll be just fine. I don't care if your eyes ever see or you stay blind. I'm trying to be the light beneath the light, and I'm gonna try. And watch this try. Democracy, and I'm gonna try. Turn into a technocracy. Before our very eyes, and I'm gonna try. Government only exists, because we allow it to. And I'm gonna try. In our minds. And I'm gonna try.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing on this Wednesday evening? Almost got it wrong there. Riddle Girl, as always, killing it in the chat, waiting for me to go live. Even if you don't like the jokes, I mean, she's putting in some effort into finding them. So give her a round of applause. Thank you very much, little girl, for doing that and kind of warming up the crowd, a little bit. M is in the house. Hello, M. How you doing? Mr. Tommy Boy just took a nap, so he's good to go for a little bit. And I guess he's referencing the oral and rectal thermometer about taking a knee or just bending over.
Yeah, I guess he's ready to take one for the team right now.
Right. What's up, Gabriel? How you doing this evening? And I am going to ask what you guys' opinion on doing this chat 1 hour earlier. I mean, I know you guys join on a regular basis, except for maybe Mr. TB9. Today's a special circumstance, but would it be easier on y'all if I did this at 9 p.m. my time instead of 10? So that'd be an hour sooner. Let me know what you think in the comments. So the title of this chat is actually a quote from one of my favorite people that I'm subscribed to on YouTube, and that's Fuzzy48. I was watching his videos today, and he had said happy horse shit or some shit like that, and I was like, yeah, that's just too good not to use. I'm going to have to do that. Today we're going to be talking about the C virus and the mask and the contradictions that go back and forth with that. Also, I want to point out another YouTuber that I watch quite a bit who's on the commenting section of the Morning Mustard sometimes, and that's Guns Coast to Coast. I don't believe he comes on here. Maybe it's too late for him. I don't know. Or maybe he just doesn't care for my content. That could be it too. But Guns Coast to Coast, I like his content. If you don't know who he is, I would definitely go check him out. He did a video today where he was talking about, the point that he had made and that I'm going to address is he said that no matter what you think, the masks do work somewhat. That they slow it down or they aid. It might not keep you from getting the C virus, but it at least helps. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so, personally. But I'm not saying that I have all the answers. Broken Patriot, what's up, brother? Doesn't matter. Oh, okay, you're talking about the time. And, Broken Patriot, he's up at all the time, so he doesn't mind. 10 p.m. is fine with Gabriel. Okay. And anybody watching this later on, since it's the beginning of the video, hopefully they've gotten to this part, let me know in the comment section if you're not here for the live version. If an hour earlier would make it so that you could enjoy the live episode as well. Virus is about 1.3 microns. Holes in N95 mask is 1.5 microns. Yep. I agree with that. And, but people think that it's going to slow it down. It might not save it, like wearing a condom and then going to the bunny ranch. Well, the bunny ranch is kind of actually clean. Going to, downtown Van Buren here in Phoenix. At least that's where they used to hang out when I was a kid. I don't know if they hang out there. Getting some really questionable pay for it shit, wearing a condom might protect you sometimes. Wow, that analogy went off the rails. All right. So yeah, Guns Coast to Coast. He was also talking about in that video, I forget the name of the video, and I apologize for that, but he was talking about how you got to choose a side, how all this is coming down, and he was also getting on the case of the 3%ers and the militias and all that sitting at home, not doing a damn thing, watching all this shit happen on the news. And I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I very much agree with that sentiment. It's our side is a bunch of talk and very little action. Now, we can disagree with Antifa, and we can disagree with BLM, and all these groups out there causing a lot of problems right now. But what you can't fault them for is staying at home and not doing a damn thing, because they're out there and they're doing something. Meanwhile, our side is full of excuses. Oh, I got a job. those people, they don't have jobs. They don't have to worry about. No, some of them do. Some of them do. Yeah, we're a bunch of excuse makers, and I think it needs to end. Definitely. I mean, when is it gonna end? When are you gonna finally say, enough is enough, and I need to stand up and do something? When you're getting hauled off to jail? When they're coming to take your firearms away from you? Just questions. Hey, Mr. TB9. Hey, if I don't see you live, then I'll catch you in the morning. Hell yeah, bro. I appreciate that. Gabriel, Hooker's going out of business because of CV. I don't know, man. Would they? That's kind of one of those, one of those businesses that never go away. It's like the oldest profession, right? I got the front rack today for my RTV. Yippee. All right, cool, bro. RTV. Can you tell me what that stands for? I know what an ATV is, and I'm guessing it's kind of similar to that. Let me know what RTV stands for. Broken Patriot. My video at the Capitol on the 4th proves it. Yeah. They got out and they did something. And look at your group. Look at your group versus their group. And I haven't talked to you about that. I think we talked a little bit about their group was about 400 to 500 people, right? And I believe we did talk about that because you said that your group was a little smaller, but not much, but that was including the women and the children. Yeah. A lot of people sitting on their ass. It's a shame. It's a shame. And I'm hoping not to sit on my ass as I'm sitting on my ass. But I have plans in the works to hopefully improve my situation. And so I can stop making excuses. Because I've been there. I've been making my own excuses, right? Oh, I'm too overweight. I'm too top heavy. I want to do nobody any good, right? Well, I'm taking steps and measures to fix that part of my life, and I won't have an excuse after that. So we'll see. Real Girl says she feels like hookers don't care.
Yeah, about the sea bears. Yeah.
Soon I'll have to be hooking. Oh, I hope not, Em. I mean, not unless you want to. I mean, if you want to, I mean, you do you. I am not one to say that you shouldn't be able to do whatever the hell you want with your own personal body. All right. So when I grabbed the quote from Fuzzy Fork 8 about happy horse shit, he was talking about Walmart. Sitting on their asses holding their AR-15s. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Walmart's now requiring all customers to wear masks. I'm not going to read this whole article, but I mean, I was thinking that they already done that. This is actually news to me that they waited this long to make this a what do you call it? A requirement across all their stores. Yep. Excuse me. So, I don't know. It's a local business. Well, not a local business. It's a business, right? It's the same thing here in Arizona. We can have our constitutional carry rights. We can carry concealed or open everywhere, but in businesses that say they don't want us to carry in their store. Some say that they don't want you to open carry. Some say they don't want you to carry open or concealed. Now, if you conceal it well enough, yeah, you can get away with a lot of shit. But if you were to have to use it, they might go after you for trespass. And if they do notice that you have a firearm and they ask you to leave, you should leave. And if you don't, then you're trespassing, right? But at the same time, it is their discretion. If I ran a business, I would want to be able to say who I could serve and not. But that then comes back to the whole baker who didn't want to bake a cake for a homosexual couple. And I support him too. If you don't want to bake a cake for that couple, then that's up to you. I mean, obviously you're going to lose out on business, and I don't think it's a good business sense thing, right? But if you want to do that, it's your business. You should be able to do whatever you want to do. And then there's going to be some debate on that, well, then you could have racism. Yeah, I guess. But I don't see racism as nearly as bad as they're making it out as before all this stuff lit up. Do we have problems as a nation? Yes. We'll always have problems as a nation. You can't you can't take racism out of people's heart. You just can't. You can say that they can't say it, but they're going to think it. They're going to say it behind closed doors. Must comply. F them. Oh, and the FTP. Liability when someone passes out or yeah. So that's, I believe that's why you see businesses saying that you can't come in without a mask. Is if, well, some are having to do that from their local government. Like here in Phoenix, we got a mandate that you have to wear masks. Colorado apparently will fine your ass $2,000 each time and up to a year in jail. All right, so if you go out in public without a mask in Colorado, you could be jailed for a year. Living in the country of the free, home of the brave. But I believe that the stores that do it in states that haven't made it mandatory, like Walmart in, let's say, North Dakota, they're basically covering their ass from lawsuit. They will do what they do, settle out of court, and hush it up. There you go. Nationwide now. There comes a ticket for non-compliers, like Riddle said before. Exactly. You're going to pay one way or the other. So as far as this story, Walmart requiring it, I don't care. I mean, I thought they already had. So it's not a big news thing for me, but I thought that I'd bring that up. This, however, is kind of interesting. We have Trump advisor on Fauci. He's been wrong about everything. When we were building new mask capacity in record time, Fauci was flip-flopping on the use of masks. That's right, if you guys don't remember. When all this kicked off, masks don't do a damn thing, and that's what this chat is all about, is the back and forth between do masks do anything or do they not? White House economic advisor Peter Navarro cast doubt on Dr. Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, in an op-ed on Wednesday, reminding the American public that Fauci had been wrong about almost everything throughout the C virus pandemic. In late January, when President Trump banned travel to and from China, Fauci opposed the policy, Navarro noted. If you didn't know that, Fauci thought we should still be able to go to and from China. He also told the public not to worry about the C virus pandemic, while other White House advisors urged the president to take the virus seriously, Navarro alleged. When I was working feverishly on behalf of the president in February to help engineer the fastest industrial mobilization of the healthcare sector in our history, Fauci was still telling the public that China virus was low risk, Navarro wrote. When we were building new mask capacity in record time, Fauci was flip-flopping on the use of masks. In short, the public should take Fauci's advice for what it is, Navarro argued. It's advice. And it's not even good advice. Like, I could give you better advice than Fauci. And Fauci's got reasons why he gives out his advice, and we're gonna look into that a little bit more. In short, the public should take Fauci's advice. Oh, I read that. Shortly after Navarro's op-ed was published, the White House distanced itself from his criticism of Fauci and said that Navarro's comments had not been approved by the White House before they were published. Take that. So, he's not speaking for the White House or the president. Alyssa Farah, the Peter Navarro op-ed didn't go through normal White House clearance processes and is the opinion of Peter alone. At Real Donald Trump values the expertise of medical professionals advising his administration. Asked about Navarro's op-ed directly, Trump said that he is a very good relationship with Fauci. Navarro, however, isn't the only Republican with concerns about Fauci. Senator Rand Paul challenged Fauci back in May for acting like his opinion on the C virus is the end-all, and I'll add be-all. I don't think you're the one person that gets to make a decision, Paul said. We can listen to your advice, but there are people on the other side saying there's not going to be a surge and that we can safely open the economy. It is his opinion. All right, let me catch up a little bit here on chat. I will get a scary Halloween mask. They didn't say what kind of mask. There you go. I mean, I did too. I got some skull masks, which are kind of cool. But to be honest, I think I should have gone with like an offensive mask, like really offensive mask. I don't know, maybe not too offensive. I was going to the store about 4 days now, but with all the virus scare, I just stay at home. Yeah, I get mad when I have to go out and people or just seeing people with wearing the mask. It makes me mad. And then when I had to go to my doctor's office and answer a whole bunch of questions before I could even go into the office, that pissed me off big time. Broken Patriot, did you see the photo of Deucey at the barbecue, not social distancing or wearing a mask? No, I did not. Can you share a link to that photograph? I'll post it up. Riddle Girl, and soon the coins will go away, followed by paper money going away, and then preventing people from buying and selling if they don't comply. There you go. That's how they control you, right? They control your buying and selling. Well, you can't go in here because you don't have your mask on, so therefore you can't buy. We are already seeing it on a smaller scale, for sure. And they're already talking about getting rid of the penny because, you know, it costs them twice as much to make one than what it's worth. And, you know, it also helps spread the C virus. That's going to be a thing.
And there's a coin shortage.
And oh, yeah, that's because they're not minting it all that fast. TUB9 says hang the leaders. Yeah, that'd be one way to do it. I would say that, you know, at least term limits is a less violent solution. And yes, cashless will be their hammer for compliance. It sure will. There's the link for Broken Patriot. Let me go ahead and bring that up.
That's a different link.
Oh, that's a different one. Coronavirus can live on some masks for up to 7 days. Yeah. Don't even get me started on that one. All right. F. Fossey, Gabriel Montoya. If coins go, it's a matter of time before cash restrictions come, or outright get rid of cash. Everything will be debit, credit, and then crypto. Some businesses here will not accept cash due to the virus. Yeah, I've heard that. Other ones are saying that you have to have exact change, and that's just because of the coin shortage. But I don't doubt that. That's why I got my credit score higher, so I don't look like a dud. And Canada has no penny. Well, technically, America doesn't have a penny. It's a cent. We keep calling it a penny. Penny. Yeah, I remember that Canada got rid of their pennies. That's amazing. All right, so let's watch this.
I wear a mask every time I leave my house.
Him, the sick person wearing it, better protects me, the healthy person, as if I were wearing it myself.
When I go to the grocery store, and even when I go through the drive-thru.
So all these masks are floating around out there. Which ones do health officials say you should use? None of them.
I wear a mask when I go out in public because of my family, my friends, and everybody.
And the surgical face masks that many people are turning to for protection from coronavirus likely won't protect you, according to health officials.
Yo uso una mascarilla cada vez que yo salgo de mi casa, porque es lo que los expertos en salud recomiendan y es una de las mejores maneras para combatir este virus.
These types of masks instead are recommended for people who are already sick.
I wear my mask because I never know what I may encounter someone else.
I think people see a mask and they see an illusion of protection.
To protect myself, to protect other people who I may infect or
Security
get infect myself
theater.
and give it to my loved ones. I don't want to do it.
That if they put the mask on, it'll somehow block viruses from getting into their mouth or nose when they breathe. That's just not the case.
We wear a mask while we're taking a walk. Because we're practicing for school.
Anyone who does not have a respiratory illness, meaning a cough or sneezing, should not be wearing any type of mask.
I wear a mask for me, my friends, and my family.
Whether it's a surgical mask or a respirator.
But that hasn't stopped the public from buying up masks.
I wear my mask when I'm
Look at
around
this
others,
one.
and it's not possible to be 6 feet apart.
Stores and websites sold out. ABC News gaining exclusive access inside this 3M factory in South Dakota, where they're working around the clock to meet demand.
I think when other people see me wearing a mask, they know I care about my community and the people in it.
The masks should be for the healthcare workers. The public should not be buying masks.
I wear a mask.
Wait, I want to repeat that one. First of all, they highlight his hand. as he touches his nose and mouth. Second of all, this is Cuomo talking, well, of course, this is Howard Zucker that's talking about it, but right next to Cuomo about you don't need your damn mask.
For the healthcare workers, the public should not be buying masks.
About my
So
community. And
it's for the
people
healthcare workers, not for the
Masks
public.
should be for the healthcare workers. The public should not be buying masks.
I wear a mask for you as well as myself.
And believe it or not, by wearing a mask, you could be putting yourself at even more risk.
Wearing a mask is a sign of solidarity.
People do not use their masks correctly. They play with it. They wear it too long. They rub their nose underneath it.
Wearing a mask makes sense.
You hear that, folks? You could be making it worse by wearing a mask, putting yourself at greater risk, because what do you do all day? You're doing exactly what they tell you not to do. You're touching your face all day and getting sick.
Wearing a mask is a sign of care and love.
Okay, viral particles, coronavirus and influenza, to name two, go right through that mask.
Good
I
morning,
believe wearing a
America.
mask shows everybody that
Did not
you
know that one
take
because
this
I don't watch
seriously
that show.
And they respect everybody's safety and concern.
These are not for lay public use.
Wearing a mask just proves that you are a responsible human being and that you care about other people.
I know it drives you crazy when you see the video and people are wearing them.
Who do I think should wear a mask?
So all these masks are floating around out there. Which ones do health officials say you should use? None of them.
Everyone should wear a mask.
Viral particles go right through that mask.
Everyone.
Everybody should be wearing a mask out in public right now.
By wearing a mask, you could be putting yourself at even more risk.
There you go. I want everybody to remember about that.
Everyone.
None of them.
So if you're curious about where to find that video, that's on Media Bear. Media Bear. Oops. There you go.
I sent you that picture in the email.
All right, hold on one second while I go check for the picture that little girl just sent me. Yeah, I don't know if I can really share this. We'll see. No, I can't share this. Huh. Too bad that's not on like a web page that it'd be easier to share. Alright, yeah, so we have a picture of our governor who's at a barbecue, not social distancing, not wearing a mask. Big surprise. I mean, you see that all the time. All of our leaders have been caught not wearing a mask. That's because they all know it's fake. You know, maybe there's a virus out there, sure, we can say that. But the death rate is crazy low. I mean, it's as low as the flu. And then, even then, the mask ain't going to do anything. They've known that for a long time. So they don't... Why they keep promoting it, I don't know. Maybe it's a sign of obedience. Maybe it's security theater to make the public think that they're doing something when they're really not. I don't know. I don't know. Can you post a link? I sure can, bro. Hold on. Alright, there's the actual video that I just shared right here. I've been seeing people with gas masks at Walmarts. Well, at least that's something better, right? America's getting so ridiculous. It is. M says closer than 6 feet too. Yeah. Are they going to start on the I wear earplugs and are you talking about all the different orifices that you can catch a virus from, including the anal? Yep, heard corona can enter through the eyes also. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that, or they just look past. I have seen, though, recently people are wearing goggles. Not ones that, you know, fully engulf the eyes, because that would lead to, you know, fogging of the goggles. No, they wear the, like, what do you call it? The safety glasses that you would wear in shop class that only protect you from flying objects, not from breath.
What about our mail carrier with the face shield?
Yeah, the face shield. It's these people you know that have bought this hook, line, and sinker. Oh, let's see. Can I keep my mouth closed and use 2 tampons for my nose? Yeah, I would say you could. We've seen people wearing diapers on their head. In fact, Real Girl modeled one for us earlier, and we might just go out and do something like that. Maybe at the next protest against face coverings. Who knows? Long-term mask wearing can cause pleurisy. I know you can get like carbon buildup or whatever. It's a ritual taking place, so fall in line. Yeah, I know. And yes, compliance is the ritual. Yeah. Oops. So this is the amazing Lucas. I don't agree with everything he says in this. He lives in California, so there's that. And he's ready for this whole thing to be over. But we're gonna watch a little bit of this anyway.
Oh my goodness. So I'm sure you're well aware of that LA is back on lockdown, okay? Because I vented about that happening, all right? Now, on top of LA being on lockdown, well, guess what? Everyone who was praising Florida, oh, how'd you do it, DeSantis? Well, now they're criticizing him because Florida has blown up, all right? Florida is looking like Wuhan right now. I'm just saying. When it comes to New York has the bright idea that if you come from some of these high-risk states and you come to New York, well, you have to leave your contact information. And if you don't, you will be slapped with a $2,000 fine.
That out-of-state travelers from the states that are quarantined must provide a location form before they leave the airport. You must give officials at the airport your form as to where you came from and where you're going before you leave the airport. If you leave the airport without providing the information, you will receive a summons immediately with a $2,000 fine. Not only can you have a $2,000 fine, you can then be brought to a hearing and ordered to complete mandatory quarantine.
Mandatory quarantine.
Your papers, please.
When it comes to Colorado's bright idea is that, hey, if you don't wear a mask, on your face, you may be jailed for up to a year. Up to a year. First, we're going to hit you with a few fines. If you say no, we're going to hit you with some more fines. If you say no, well, the max, I believe it was like up to $2,000 or a year in jail. Or both. Or both. Oh, genius. Wow. When it comes to Walmart's decided that, hey, you have to wear a mask. It's mandatory. You won't be allowed into the store. Listen, when it comes to private businesses and stuff like that, I don't care, all right? I don't care. Because sure enough, there will be someone who probably catches the Rona and find a way to sue Walmart or sue one of these companies or sue one of these businesses. Yeah, I understand that, all right? People are petty when it comes to litigation, all right? It's simple as that. They know very well that they're probably going to settle out of court, yada, yada, and get their little payday. I don't have a problem with that. But ladies and gentlemen, this is where it gets good. This is where we put the cherry on top of this stupid sundae, okay? Because there are layers of stupid when it comes to this, all right? You ready? Because we all know the saying. We all remember what was told to us, all right? Don't wear a mask. Right, stop buying the mofos. They don't do anything, okay? That's what we were told, all right? We were like,
okay, government, I'll listen to you. Shoot, let me throw it away.
Few weeks later, what do they say? Second thought, put a mask on your face or you're going to jail. That's pretty much the juxtaposition of the two messages, okay? That's what we were given. I'm not stupid. I'm not a science denier. Right? I'm not some dummy. I understand that, hey, upon new information, if you're given new information, of course, you need to change your plan of action, right? Right? If you're given new information, if you're getting new data, and it completely eradicates your previous idea, your previous notion, then you have to update your belief. That's how that works. Simple as that. Okay, so I just wanted to know, all right, you told us not to wear masks. What new information did you guys come across that is now telling you to tell us to wear masks? Okay.
So I want to read the comments a little bit here. Compliance, comply or else. And there's got to be a connection between the states that are hot and the virus, says Broken Patriot. I have a feeling that the states that are getting an influx of new cases has something to do with how they voted in 2016. I'm just saying. They count everything as the Rona. If you die of a car crash but you had the Ronavirus, then you're a Rona death. Right? We've known that. They've come out and they said that. We all know people in our day-to-day life. Very few of us know of anybody who's had the Rona. Even less of us, and I would imagine none of us here in this room or watching this video know of anybody who's actually passed away from the Rona. And if you do, please let me know. But I would imagine that's very, very low. Very, very low. There's been many reports that it's less of a death rate than the common flu. All right? Yet we're going to shut down the whole nation over it. And I really have a feeling, because there are a lot of little towns that aren't making you wear a mask, and they're fine, you know, but they're local towns. They don't have big hospitals with all these organizations trying to push their agenda, right? Look at Eager, Arizona. They haven't been closing down nothing. They don't require you to wear a mask there, right? And they don't have a big influx of the Rona patients. Why? Because nobody really cares about them because they're a small town. Once they start caring about you, and if you don't play ball and you're a big city, then they're going to come up with a whole bunch of numbers out of somewhere that, oh, we got a whole bunch of new cases. Oh, yeah, we can't show you them because, you know, private confidentiality kind of shit. You know, I'm just calling bullshit on all of it, to be honest. California is high on the virus. There is some news today about testers in Florida that were falsifying tests to inflate the numbers. I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it one bit. If anyone hasn't read Orwell's 1984, yeah, that's... This whole effing thing is a joke. It's eager to go to Eager. Yeah, I'm thinking about at least going there on the weekend, maybe. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see.
What has since then changed? Go.
At the beginning of April is when the administration started telling the public to wear masks. But just the last time you were with us here on Face the Nation, March 8th, you said this. Let's listen.
And stay safe by washing your hands, by covering your cough, by staying home if you're sick. Masks do not work for the general public in preventing them from getting coronavirus.
Surgeon General.
The week before that, you tweeted in all caps, seriously, people, stop buying masks. You said they were not effective. Do you regret saying that?
Well, it's important for people to understand that once upon a time, we prescribed cigarettes for asthmatics and leeches and cocaine and heroin for people as medical treatments. When we learn better, we do better.
What? What are you talking about?
Exactly. What the fuck, bro? You know, he's going to comment on here a little bit, but I mean, he's referencing what he said now versus what he said back in, what was it, March? To leeches and cigarettes for asthmatics. These are the same people who buy into, oh, I don't believe in God, I believe in science. I don't believe in a fairy tale, I believe in facts and science. Dumbfounded. I have no idea.
I don't know about you guys, but when I heard him say what he said, the first thing that popped in my head is, what the hell are you talking about? What the literal hell, Satan, flames, are you talking about, my guy? Did you just talking about cigarettes as a prescription for asthma? You talking about leeches and stuff? Is that the royal mess up that you are comparing us not wearing masks to? Is that the comparison you want to bring up? Well, hey, at one point we were prescribing leeches and, you know, cocaine and... What? What are you talking about? Bruh, I so desperately want to believe that this man is qualified for the job. That he's not an affirmative action case, that Trump didn't hire him.
Yeah, and this is Trump's guy.
Won the diversity lotto or something. I want to believe that. I want to believe that. It makes me, you know what? I'm good, government. I'm going to be on my own. I don't care what y'all say, because y'all don't even know what the hell you're talking about, all right? He just compared him saying not wear masks as people prescribing leeches and cocaine for stuff. What on earth is this man talking about? Let's just say, okay, essentially what he's saying is, my bad, we messed up. Now, this is where the fun begins. This is where we juxtapose it.
Now we're going to get on to Fauci here.
Fauci says. Yeah. Fauci, faux pas, I don't care, all right? Because he's asked the same question. Yo, Fauci, pimpin', why did y'all tell us not to wear masks, and now y'all telling us to wear masks? Because we just heard what Jerome, the Surgeon General, said. What do you have to say? Go.
Which was, what about a month or so, or 2 or 3 ago, when people were saying, you don't really need to wear a mask? Well, the reason for that is that we were concerned, the public health community, and many people were saying this, were concerned that it was at a time when personal protective equipment, including the N95 masks and the surgical masks, were in very short supply. And we wanted to make sure that the people, namely the healthcare workers, we did not want them to be without the equipment that they needed.
So, maybe it's just me, or the...
So he straight up lied. Well, I mean, that's what he's admitting to, right? So he's either incompetent and doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, or he straight up lied to the American people and told them that N95 masks and other masks don't work, don't buy them, so that the health professionals could have them. Either way, that dude needs to be disqualified and shown the door, in my opinion.
Government is a little schizophrenic, all right? Because you had one mofo said, well, our bad, we came up with new information basically of how the virus works, and so that's why we're now recommending masks. New information, new data. Where this mofo says, well, we just didn't want y'all buying up all the masks. Nothing has changed. We knew this mofo was deadly. We knew what was the cause. We knew everything. We just didn't want y'all buying up masks for everyone else. Like, our people needed a mask. Y'all needed to stop. So we just put that out and told you to stop buying masks and that it didn't work. Okay? But now that we have enough masks, now we're going to tell you that it does work.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Bullshit. All right, so M, she's just going to hire an exodus if she gets the Rona, huh? And do you think the Surgeon General is racist because he's wearing a white mask? Well, Trump wore a black one. Thought he was the Lone Ranger. Stupid like a rock. There you go. Local governments want you to pay for the economic terrorism that they have caused. We're going to get to that. So local governments want massive tax hikes to cover the cost of the economic terrorism they've extracted over the entire population. Cities like Nashville, Tennessee, which is a shame because that was one of the short list of us to go to, plan to hike property taxes as much as 34% to cover the cost of their terrorism. Have you had enough yet? Because too many are still taking this on the chin. Because many are still taking this on the chin. Historic job losses caused by government mandate lockdowns that have fueled the downturn have also put the squeeze on city and state budgets. Washington sought to offset this with stimulus payments, additional unemployment benefits, business grants, and more, but now they want their money back in the form of massive tax hikes. Ain't nothing for free. Ain't nothing for free. They're going to give you money, they're going to take it back one way or the other. Any push to raise taxes too dramatically could hurt the economy even more, not to mention cause civil unrest. People are already living on the edge, and those lucky enough to still have jobs are living paycheck to paycheck, not us. For the first time in forever. So I'm a little excited about that. Sorry for gloating. But if the government can get away with it from a passive and sleeping public, they'll do it. In Texas, Dallas lawmakers were considering a massive property tax hike as much as 8%. New York State lawmakers are pushing for income tax hikes for those who earn more than $5 million. In Seattle, a new measure approved by the city of Seattle approved by the city council will add a tax on companies with at least $7 million in annual payroll. So all those businesses that got looted and robbed in Seattle and put it into the autonomous zone. Now, when you come back, if you decide to come back, you're going to have more money to pay in taxes. I mean, could you be more anti-business? I don't even understand how you think that's going to make businesses want to come and do business in your city or state. Ugh. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy warned if the state does not borrow more money, he will have no choice but to raise property taxes, according to NewJersey.com. Wow. These people look down at the public and think of us as nothing more than tax cattle, and we are doing little to show we are anything but. That's a good article. Headline wealth. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, but shoot, I'll share it in the chat. All right, so that's pretty much for the mask for this evening. The next thing I have here is CHRISSY TEIGEN. I don't know how do you pronounce that name, Riddle. You know?
CHRISSY TEIGEN.
TEIGEN. This is a video that Fuzzy Fork 8 shared with me. Well, he shared, with all of his subscribers, and I saw it. And I clicked on the link. It's about 5 minutes. This is a model, you said?
Yep.
Yep. She's got some high ties to Epstein. But also, this video has a lot of other things to do with Epstein. These are all the people who visited on Epstein's island. Alec Baldwin, Elisa Rogers, Anderson Cooper, Andrea Mitrovich, Andres, I can't pronounce some of these, Barack Obama, Ben Affleck, Beyonce Knowles, Bill Clinton, Bill Hammond, Bill Murray, Brian Affleck, Karen Cassie Wasserman, Charlie Sheen, Chris Tucker, Chris Wagner, Christy Teigen, the one that we're talking about, Cindy Lopez, let's see, Dan Schneider, Demi Moore, Ed Turtle, whole bunch. Will Ferrell, Will Smith, Woody Allen. Well, I don't doubt Woody Allen. So these are all people who have gone to Pedo Island. And they have proof, I guess, of it. Yeah, there's a reason why Epstein killed himself. I don't know, you guys want to watch it? It's about a 5-minute video. It's mostly just audio in the background like this. So I'll go ahead and mute this. And you can read it if you want while I keep up with chat. Alaska is beautiful. Have to like the simple things in life. Hunting and fishing. Oh my goodness, yeah. Do you live in Alaska? I forget. I'd love to visit Alaska, especially in the summer when it's not so damn cold. Is the wall being built to keep us in? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I'd run to Mexico, though. Wall was never meant to keep anyone out. You don't think so?
No. It was all just a big ploy to get people to vote.
Mr. Tommy Boy, I heard passports are hard to get to keep us in. They're building it 24/7, even at night here where I live, like an agenda. Well, yeah, if Trump wants to get reelected, he needs to have something to hang his hat on, right? I mean, he had a little bit of the wall done, but he really needs to up that in order to say, see, I did that. Yeah.
Right now, that's his only campaign promise he can say he's done anything with.
I would eat it.
Right. So this is the one part of audio in this, so I am gonna play this part with the volume.
I would eat a human.
She would eat a human.
If you were in a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
you wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Is that terrible?
So, and the rest of it is just music. And some of these are reaching. They're talking about right here is the code words for pedophilia, right? So, I don't know. Her tweet about pizza could have been about pizza. But other parts of this video, you know, that's the great thing about a conspiracy video, right? You got a little bit of truth mixed in with a little bit of, you know, stretching the imagination a little bit. So, I don't know. Took a cruise from Vancouver up coast to Alaska about 12 years ago. Would live in Alaska in a heartbeat. Yeah, it'd be hard to live up there, especially in the winter. But man, I'd love to think I could. Irish USMC vets in the house. What's up, my brother? And if you don't know about Irish USMC vets chats, he does them sometimes. You have to ring the bell, though. You have to be a subscriber. You have to ring the bell, right? And then you'll get notified sometimes that Irish is doing a morning muster chat in the morning, which usually I'm on. And we talk about all sorts of things going on, including farming. We were doing farming before all this stuff broke out. And other news stories as well. So if you like my content, you're going to like his too. And I would definitely suggest going over there and checking it out. This is this is disturbing. This is a picture that she dedicated, I guess. Yeah. Quite disturbing. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that that's a thumb. Right? Maybe. I'm going to make that argument. It's a thumb. Okay. So yeah, if you want to see more of that, I would definitely check out Fuzzy Fork's video, and he links to that video, and you can check that out. So Trump is watching Soros-funded DA's treatment of the St. Louis couple. President did not like what he's seen and the way people are being treated. So this is the McCloskeys. You guys all know about the McCloskeys, right? They're Democrat, Black Lives Matter supporters, the whole bit, but they defended their house with a AR-15 and a broken pistol that they're using against the company that makes that pistol in a lawsuit that they have against that company, right? So not great people for us. We don't like people like this, but we will stand with them and support them with their Second Amendment rights of protecting their life, liberty, and property, right? Missouri Governor Mike Pearson said that President Trump is focused on and concerned about the possibility that St. Louis couple could face criminal charges for displaying guns as they defended their home during racial injustice protests that broke into and invaded their private community. Parson told reporters Tuesday that he had just been on the phone with Trump and the U.S. Attorney General William Barr. The phone call came amid reports that St. Louis Circus Attorney Kim Gardner, a Democrat, may file charges against Mark and Patricia McCloskey. Here's something I want to touch on. I don't think I have the other video that talked about this. You have the governor of Missouri on the McCloskey side. You have the mayor on McCloskey's side. You have the police chief on the McCloskey side. And now you have President Trump on McCloskey's side. McCloskeys are Democrats, Black Lives Matter supporters, and definitely aren't Trump fans. Okay? But you have all these people on their side. Only one person is going after the McCloskeys, and that's Attorney Kim Gardner, a Democrat who was put in place with her main donor is George Soros. And we all know that George Soros is trying to win local elections, putting in people that are going to go after people who use the second or anything he doesn't agree with, even though it goes against the law. So everything the McCloskeys did was lawful. Yes, they could have worked on their trigger control, right? But it wasn't illegal what they did. Everything was totally lawful. Only one person is going to go after them, and that's because she was funded by Soros, and that's the agenda Soros is trying to push right now at the local levels. Get judges in, get prosecutors in, anybody in that won't follow the Constitution and will follow his orders instead. Democrat may file charges against the McCloskeys. Both of them are lawyers in their 60s. A couple wielded guns on the 28th as rowdy protesters marched. Yeah, we already know that. A police report said the couple heard a loud commotion. We already know about that. Okay. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to touch on. Right? You have president, governor, mayor, police chief, all on the McCloskey side. Only one person is against them, and that's the person who's backed by Soros. Oh, did you guys hear about Lady Antebellum? I don't know if you know who this group is. This is a music group. I'm not going to go and read the story, but I'll tell you a little bit of what I found out about it. Lady Antebellum has some good hits, I guess. I've heard their songs. They're okay. They're a little, I don't know, poppy for me. I like a little bit more edge to my music than they are. But they used to be known as Lady Antebellum. But apparently they're from the South. And antebellum means before war. And it was in reference to supposedly the Civil War. And because it's before the war, that would mean that they were okay with slavery. And so they want to change their name from Antebellum to Lady A, because they're super woke and they don't want to offend anybody. The only problem with that is that Lady A was already taken by a black singer who had that name for over a decade and been working on that name. And she said that, yeah, you can have the name, but you're going to owe me this amount of money. They said, no, we're not. And now they're getting in trouble from the black lady who they're trying to appropriate her name from. I find that hilarious. Absolutely funny. Oh, so Schiff is trying to get his shit out of water. House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff is nervous about the U.S. Attorney John Durham's investigation into the origins of the Russiagate hoax and how Attorney General William Barr could use it. I bet you are worried, Schiff, for brains. Schiff suggested in a recent episode of the Talking Fed podcast that Barr would use Durham's investigation to protect the president and to go after his political enemies, including some of the congressional Democrats who pushed the debunk Russian collusion conspiracy. Whoa. These people need to go to jail. I'm not... Everybody that watches this knows that I'm not a big fan of Trump. All right? There's a lot of things he does that I disagree with very, very strongly. But at the same time, I am one that will hold people accountable on both sides. You know, that's why I don't like Trump, is because he does some things that I think are unconstitutional. All right? But obviously, this guy's scared because he might get called out. I don't think anybody's going to go to jail. I really don't. I mean, they keep saying lock her up, but will they ever lock her up? I doubt it. Will anybody ever go to jail for all this corruption? I doubt it. You know, this whole draining the swamp, it's not getting drained. It's getting stirred, maybe, but definitely not drained. And lastly, Justice Ginsburg is back in the hospital with a possible infection and a fever. Ooh, maybe she wasn't wearing her mask. Oh, she's trying to hold on, ain't she? She's trying to hold on. I'm not even going to read that story. All right. Let's see, I believe some of the coast communities in Alaska have microclimates with warm winters compared to inland. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, even the warmer ones, though, would be pretty cold, especially for my boy from Arizona. Now, I have lived in Wisconsin for 10 years, so I do know sub-zero temperatures, which I don't really want to know again, but Alaska is beautiful. And Mr. TB9 is an asshole, or Mr. T is an asshole. Are you talking about Mr. T is I pity the fool, or Mr. T is Mr. Tommy Boy 9? So that's all the news stories that I got for you guys this evening. Hope you enjoyed those. Those are things that have been on my radar. I keep hearing from people, even on our side, that, well, the mask might not work, but it's not a big infringement. You know, you should be okay with it. And it does slow it down a little bit. And I'm just like, I mean, we can have that disagreement. That's fine. Me and Guns Coast to Coast can have that disagreement. I have no problem with that. I still like his content and think he's got a lot of interesting things to talk about. But I don't agree with him on that one. And that's okay. And you don't have to agree with me either. That's why we're here. We're getting differences of opinions to challenge our belief systems. All right? If you have something that you don't agree with me on, I hope you say it in a nice, conformative way. Like there's other people on Irish USMC's chat that would come on, and we would, they would contribute and all that, and then all of a sudden they never came on again. One in particular, right? I've already forgotten the person, right? But there was one person that came in and would chat with us, and then all of a sudden they never did again. And I saw that they were doing chats in the morning. Well, Irish pointed it out that they were doing chats in the morning. So I go over there, and they're talking about how cop lives matter and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay. I remember you in the chat and all that. So I'm like, hey, man, I do these chats in the evening. I'd love to have you on and have a debate on it. Obviously I differ from your opinion, but, we can talk it out and have a little chat online. And they responded that they had heard enough of my opinion on the internet. That's not good. That's not a good thing, because we all need to be open-minded a little bit and at least be willing to have that conversation, right? We can have a conversation about if masks work or if they don't. We can have a conversation, in my opinion, on if cops are all good or all bad. For a long time, I thought all cops were bad except for the ones that got fired for doing good. Those were good cops, but only a good cop is an ex-cop, right? And I try to portray that in a way that wasn't like going out of the way to calling everybody a douche or whatever. But this guy that I'm referencing on Irish's chat, apparently he was a police officer or is a police officer, right? So he takes offense. And he doesn't want to have that conversation now because he's closed-minded. He knows my opinion, and either he can't combat it with actual knowledge, or he's just one of those people like, you either agree with me or I'm done with you kind of people. And there's people in my life who are like that, and you got to try to be careful with those people. Because even though they might be your friends today, they might not be your friends tomorrow. You know what I mean? It can be that quick. 407, Ginsburg situation may be right news. Great news. Yeah. Trump is an asshole, and I don't know why he's still alive. Oh, why he hasn't been taken out? Are you talking, Mr. TB? Oh, I'm sure there's some people that wouldn't mind trying it. I don't know. We'll see if he gets reelected. I mean, they usually try to. I don't know what they do. Never mind. I'll keep my mouth shut on that one. Anyway, my whole point on that is try to have an open dialogue. Don't close people just because they disagree with you. See why they disagree with you, right? See if you can't talk with them and have some sort of common ground. Instead of going out to BLM protest and automatically calling them all sorts of names, go out there and ask them some questions. If they're willing to have that conversation, obviously. If they're not willing to have that conversation and they're just yelling back in your face, then obviously don't just sit there and take it. But if somebody's actually willing to sit down and have that conversation, be willing to have that conversation back. Don't be so quick to, do your little chants of your side's, rah-rah speech. Say, why do you think Black Lives Matter more than anybody else's lives matter? And they'll tell you, well, it's because, for so long we've been oppressed by the police and yada yada. And then you can start spouting some facts here and there. Well, you know that more white people get shot than black people and all that. And don't you think, maybe you even say, well, yeah, I think your life does matter, but I think mine does too. And I think we as a nation need to come together and say our lives matter instead of yours versus mine. Those are the conversations we need to be having, because the other side is trying to divide everybody. So try to not divide people. Try to be less divisive in your life. He triggered RBG got the Rona. Who's RBG? Oh, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Sorry. Wow. What's up, OMG? How you doing this evening? Were you lurking the whole time? All lives do matter, right? And you could even just say American lives matter. If we could come together, obviously all lives matter. But if we could come together somehow and have a U.S. citizen / people, we the people matter. Maybe that's the wording that we should go with. We the people matter. Forget the black versus white, the brown versus red, the Redskins versus the Rangers, right? If we could all come together and say, you know what, police brutality on one of us is police brutality on all of us. Oh my goodness, you want to talk about shaking the shit up? That would put the fear of God into some of these politicians. If we could actually come together to do that. But they've won, right? They've been doing this for decades. They've been doing this since at least the 60s, maybe longer, dividing us into sections of groups and trying to keep us separated so that we don't come together, right? Human life matters. There you go. So be less divisive. Try to bring people together. Try not to separate them. What's up, Em? Good advice. Be a builder, not a tear downer. I love the English, right? I don't know. I try. I get frustrated. Everybody does. You can't always practice what you preach. But if you can, don't be so closed-minded. Be a little open-minded. See if you can have a conversation. See if you can strike up a conversation with somebody for sure. WM Warriors. Dude, I think I think you're a subscriber from way back when. Like, you have a YouTube channel, right? Long time no see. Yeah, long time no see. You and the wife are doing well. We're doing pretty good, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you. Wow, it's been a minute. I can't believe I remember it. I think increasing gun sales to new owners is the #1 opportunity to bring people over to our side. I think it helps for sure. I think it helps. I think don't go and be like, oh yeah, look at their trigger control like we are with the McClowskis, right? Offer to mentor them if you know somebody that got a new gun or whatever. Ask them if they would like to go to the range with you. Because the first time you go to a range, especially a public range with range officers, oh, that can be intimidating. I remember the first time I went, it's like Nazi Germany over there with them yelling orders at you. Get behind the line! You know what I mean? It scared the absolute pissing shit out of you. OMG, the only time I've been brutalized by police was when I resisted. Yeah. I've never been brutalized by the police. I don't know if you're saying that tongue-in-cheek or not, but, some would say, well, that's your white privilege. Well, the thing is I might not have been brutalized by the police, but I've seen people of my same skin tone brutalized by the police many times. Some were resisting, some were not. The one here in Mesa was not, right? So we can have that conversation for sure. But we all know that there are bad cops out there. I think even good cops, or even supposed good cops, can admit to that. The problem is those bad cops think they're good cops too. OMG says the Democrats can't win an election unless we are divided. Yeah, it does help. Or if they get the illegals to be able to vote. Am says politicians love division. Yes, they do. Gun range as. And there was sexy music playing, Officer 90.
No, he said that he was brutalized by police when he resisted. I was like, oh, was it Officer Naughty?
Oh. Did you get a strip tease dance? Huh? Gun range, Gestapos. Yeah, pretty much. And that's the ones they pay. That's the ones they pay. I mean, now I know. Now I go to the range and I'm just like, oh, there's a new one right there. You can see, because here comes the range officer to yell at him. There's only good and evil. There it is. There it is. All right, guys, that's all I got for either you're a cop that does good or you're a cop that does bad. And the only cop that does... Here we go, right? The only good cop as an ex-cop is what I kept saying for a long time. Now, I'm willing to be proven wrong on that. But a cop takes 2 oaths as far as I'm aware. One to the Constitution and one to the state and local laws. Right? Those contradict. They do. You can't serve 2 masters. It's either one or the other. So first of all, I want to know which oath are you upholding if you're an oath keeper, right? Second of all, if you know of somebody who does something wrong. Oh, and this is the guy that I'm referring to on the YouTubes that left Irish's chat, he was a cop, as I said, who saw something bad and decided to report on it, right? So he filed a report on this other police officer, and apparently this police officer he reported to the superior. The superior and this cop that he reported, bumping uglies, okay, unbeknownst to him. So not only did they let the other cop know that this other cop, that he had reported them, but they also then went after him for reporting this cop. And he got in trouble. Now, what I didn't see is what he did after that. Because him reporting a bad cop, I believe, is a good thing. Right? If you see a bad cop doing bad shit, report him. But now comes the question, and this is the question that I wanted to ask him, is did you then not report the next incident that came up because you already knew that you're going to get in trouble if you reported your cop again? The thin blue line must protect its own, right? Because if that's the case, then yeah, you're then not a good cop. You can be a good cop 99% of the time and do one fucked up thing and then be considered a bad cop. It's very simple. I mean, I'm sure I'd be a bad cop if I was a police officer at some point. Nobody's perfect. I mean, we can try, and that's all we can do. Let's see. Some gun ranges don't even allow human-shaped targets. I know. That's crazy, right? Ex-cops are the best cops. When the economy busts, that's all when the real riot starts. Well, the police will be on the front lines, and they're leaving in droves right now. And for whatever reason, I mean, a lot of people are targeting them personally. Now we have cops being executed in Texas, I believe it was, where they got ambushed, right? So cops are getting taken out that way. Politicians want to defund the police, you know, so there's all sorts of reasons for cops to get out on retirement a little bit early. I think that's happening a lot. OMG, how can a California cop take an oath to the Constitution and then take an oath to California laws? Exactly, when California laws don't. Exactly, OMG, and some of them are supposed oath keepers. There are oath keepers in California. Tell me, which oath are you keeping? Because I don't see it. I see it as a bunch of talk. That's all it is. Real girl, I think the real wake-up call is when the internet goes down. Yeah, that'll help. That would set shit off. OMG, the real wake-up call is when you don't see the semi-trucks on the highway. It's too late by then. If you don't see the semis on the highway, then it's already gone to shit. Cops are human too. Yes, they are. But that is my one issue with police officers is, yes, they are a person in a costume with a badge. Right? And that's, if we all could agree on that they're just a human being, they're just like you and me, but they're wearing a uniform and a badge or a costume and a badge, however you want to put it, then okay. But they are not. They are supposedly higher than us, right? They can shoot and kill you and probably not get prosecuted. There's plenty of cases where cops blatantly murdered people on camera and got away with it. Here in Mesa, example for one. Many cases that, especially if the suspect is white, they're going to get away with it 90% of the time, right? But let's not even go into that. There's a lot of things cops get away with because they're a police officer, because they have unions or whatever, right? And that's got to stop. That's why I'm for police reform at the very least. They need 5G. I'm invested in 5G, I think, a little bit, even though I don't like 5G. But I do think it's coming. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It's coming. Tesla driverless semis are everywhere. We'll see. Tesla is also doing that brain implant soon, supposedly. OMG, a driverless truck on LA freeways, that would work out great. I don't know. Supposedly these driverless cars work really good. They have a whole bunch of these taxi services, and I think it's Tempe that is driverless now.
Yep,
Waymo. And 407, people are not educated on the Constitution. That's the number one issue with this country. Well, the educational system. You have people growing up now, because when I grew up through the educational process, we had American history. We learned about all the great things our ancestors did and what the country did. There was some few bad things. Slavery was bad. Killing Indians was bad. Taking their land, raping their women, shooting their schools and killing a whole bunch of kids in Indian schools. That was bad. Yeah, first mass murder school shooting, American government against Native Americans. Yeah. So, this country's definitely done bad, but when you start now you go through school and all you hear about is the bad. You don't hear about anything good or how this country's done anything good for anybody. And that's a problem. And so, yeah, we don't look at the Constitution the same way. The only one they like to vote, it's funny because they want to focus on your constitutional rights when it's the First Amendment and freedom against religion, which is actually freedom of religion, not freedom from it. But, they like to tout all the amendments except for the second one. It kind of reminds me of people who believe in the Bible, believe in the Ten Commandments, all of them except for the one that says go to church on Saturday. Yeah, that's the one that was done away with. But, yeah, you should still not kill and all that other stuff. It's always hilarious how you pick and choose which ones you agree with and which ones you don't. My kids were homeschooled and we use Christian-based program. Right on, cool. I really wish I had. I had sent my kid to a Christian school, but looking back on it, they probably weren't the best ones to send them to. It was the same one I went to when I was a kid, but it had changed quite a bit since when I went there. And they were accredited. Cool. So was mine. Hope everyone got emergency food and water supplies on the reel. Yeah, you're going to need that. And lastly, 407 public training is about social indoctrination. That's what we could be seeing with the mask. And RG Homestead, what's up? They don't want you to hear that it's all about America. That's okay. Or all against it. They don't want to hear that it's all about against America. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Thank you very much for joining. If you enjoyed the chat, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. If you're not already subscribed, I don't know what the hell you're doing. You should definitely at least consider subscribing. And also, if you want to know anytime I go live or upload a video, don't be afraid to click that bell. If you like this kind of content, you're going to love my buddy Irish USMC Vets kind of content. And sometimes he does the morning muster where he has me on as a guest. So definitely go check out his channel. In the descriptions below, there are links. The first one is to the song that plays before I come on live. If you like that song, you can go check it out at that link. The second one is to Irish USMC Vets GoFundMe page, where he's trying to build up a place where veterans can come and learn a new skill, like blacksmithing and gardening, all free room and board. Basically, we work for your keep. Also, the last one is projectrecover.org. That's an organization that goes out and tries to find fallen lost service members and return the remains to their families. So if you're into finding a good cause to support, those are the ones that I support and that I recommend. If you want to do that, that would be great. Anyway, I do these chats every evening at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That was about an hour and 13 minutes ago.
Unless you guys vote to change it to 9.
Unless you guys vote to change it to 9. Yeah, well, we got a few people that were saying it was okay. If you're still watching this after this is live, let me know, as I said, in the comments below what you guys think. Maybe I'll do an actual video. That way I can put a poll in the video, and we'll get a better idea from that. Also, next month, the beginning of month, next month, is it the 5th or the 3rd?
The 5th.
Yeah, starting the 5th, the first Wednesday, I believe, of August, I will not be doing live chats for at least the rest of that week. I will keep you guys updated on that. Link Irish YouTube page. Okay, and Real Girl, you did that? Yep. And OMG, register to vote and don't vote for Green New Deals and socialist mandatory buybacks. Make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. And a lot of people who don't like Trump will say that you shouldn't vote because it's a protest vote, I guess, of not being part of the system. But at the same time, I don't think our vote's going to fix anything, but I think it might slow it down. And the more we can slow it down, the more we can get ready for what's inevitably coming. So that's why I say you should vote. Not that your vote's going to do anything but slow it down, but because it's coming. It's coming one way or the other. Started at 9, says 407. Okay. When there's power in internet. For the East Coast. Yeah, I think I might try it. Maybe next week we'll do it at 9. As I said, I'll do a video maybe tomorrow and with a poll on it and ask you guys there. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching once again. Everybody who joined us in the chat, thank you very much for staying up late and joining me. Check out the links in the descriptions. Make sure to keep your family close. Watch out for the government and all the tyranny that's coming after you and yours. And go out there and live as free as you possibly can in these tyrannical times. Until tomorrow, I will catch you later. Peace.